Hey guys, welcome back to Safe Space. So today's topic is about powerlifting and how I got into it and where I am with the sport. So let's start from the beginning of how I got started and the backstory of how I got into it as well. So the backstory was when I was still training in commercial gym, doing strength training because I was watching one Instagram influencer online and he was part of Muscle Nation, and I was like, okay, I'll just click on his profile and see what he was doing back then. And he was doing powerlifting. So I'm like, oh wow, okay. He was doing squat, bench and deadlift. And I started watching him and he was pretty strong. And I was like, oh wow, I want to be that strong too. So I started like copying how he was doing things in his Instagram videos. The squat, bench and deadlift. Of bracing and arching your back. And bracing and doing all those little things that help you get stronger in those three lifts. So that's what I did. And I slowly like got stronger. And I was like, okay, so what's next? So start seeing that they were like wearing equipment like the belt, wrist wrap and knee sleeve. So I was like, okay, so gotta get those equipment to get stronger. So I purchased those equipment to help me get stronger as well. So slowly get stronger, like building up to like a phase where I got stronger, but the weight stayed the same, and I couldn't progress any further. So I went on to like another Instagram account as well, the Australian strength coach. Started learning from him how to give technique like deadlift, squat and bench, how to like do it properly. So I started listening to those cues, but it was so different back then when I first started because I never knew that we have to like take videos of our own technique. Because back then I was like, oh, I'm just doing it in the commercial gym. So, and plus I wasn't really too comfortable taking videos or filming myself doing those three lifts for technique analysis. So I just kept doing it. Never knew my deadlift was like a dog form. Like it looked like a dog. Like a dog pooping. Yeah, I know, you tell me. So yeah, so eventually I got to like a point where I was hitting like 180 kilos in deadlift, but then my back like was playing up. And one point with deadlift as well, when I was doing 160 and I wedged my hip a little back and forward at the top of the exercise. That's when I felt that little nudge in my lower back. So I dropped the weight at 160 kilos and yeah, took like 3 to 4 month break. But I kept going. I kept training throughout those 3 to 4 month break as well. But I was taking it easy and going with how my body felt. And that's what I did with my injuries. So I was still looking through Instagram, trying to learn how to get stronger. And there was this one guy that I came upon called, and his name was Aiden Pot. And I was like, okay. I start watching his videos and all that stuff. And eventually I met him in person, which I thought I would never meet. And I met him at my workplace where I was like, oh, hey, you're that guy on Instagram. Are you able to like teach me how to do it properly? And I was showing him like my videos and the weight that I was doing back then, and he took that as a yes to get more client for him, of course, and also for myself to learn how to execute the squat, bench, and deadlift better with better forms and progress as well. So that's what I did. So I took that opportunity to start learning from him to how to like do it properly from the beginning by reprogramming the way that I squat, bench, and deadlift. So dropping the weight to a comfortable weight with new forms. Instead of doing high bar, I started doing low bar, which was different for me, and it just felt unbalanced for myself with all my footing and pushing off the heels when you're doing squat. All that stuff that we get told back then, that you meant to push through your heels when you do squat and head out, all that stuff. So learning all those basic with lower weight, by lowering the weight, and just learning how to do it properly, and then eventually like adding on the weight and progress from there. I also remember doing bench press, doing like just 60 kilos with the different form as well. It was so heavy to be in that form where your body is arch and repping out 60 for like 10 reps. And it was so hard. Like the muscular endurance was so hard. It was so fatiguing as well. So back then it was just like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But it was the best investment that I did for myself. Not just getting stronger, but also the education of programming, progressive overload, getting a coach, and learning how to manage your fatigue as well while you're before comp and all that stuff. And it was really eye-opening to my fitness journey and the fitness industry that I like, because I like learning about the fitness industry and trying to get the optimal result by optimal technique or exercise, whatever it is. So that's what I did. I like learning about the fitness stuff. So, and then after like a few months, like training with Aiden, he also introduced me to iron strength, which I never knew existed in Cairns. And I was like, wow, this is a nice gym, better than a commercial. And they did what we did, powerlifting. So got introduced to the gym, to the owners, Elias and Jackie, and met a lot of people throughout the years. And it was great fun. There's like proper like equipment to assist with the sport that I'm doing, powerlifting. And it was amazing, but it was hard at first. Learning all this stuff made me become like smarter in my training. And learning was hard. And progress was very emotionally hard as well. Especially on some days when you don't feel your best and you depend on your RPE on how you feel on that day. Some days will be bad, some days will be good. And you can't really put in your emotion into those on that day. Because what happened if you do that on comp day, you put a number in and you had a bad day and you couldn't get that number on that comp day. Your emotion will override you and you won't have any control of managing your emotion because you fail a lift when you train for that number, chasing that number. Yeah, so it also taught me how to like manage my emotion with lifting as well, powerlifting, like managing my emotion over numbers, getting numbers, chasing numbers. And it also like taught me to be patient with progressive overload, because it doesn't just happen in one day. It does take years to be strong in the sport of powerlifting. And I don't think that it's a sport that we can do. I think that it is a sport that everybody can start off with to begin with, to learn the basic of programming, technique wise, and just getting like a good coach to teach you how to do it properly. I do recommend powerlifting for any beginners that want to start training in a gym, and in a gym that does support the sport as well. But yeah, like learning like all that stuff in that iron strength gym, and it was the best decision that I made. Getting a coach and training in a gym that support that sport at the same time. That was the best decision that I made in my life. And until now, I'm still training at that gym as well. I appreciate iron strength. And yeah, like I remember like I was telling Aiden, like I don't really want to compete at all. I just want to get strong. But he still insists that I do compete, which I eventually like gave in and be like, okay, I'll just do it. So prepping for comp was very exciting. And I remember like I had a bad time of my life before prepping for the comp. And like I didn't even realize back then that what I was going through with the emotion from outside of work, outside of gym, can bring emotion into my lifting. I just wasn't feeling it, like I wasn't hyped up. I just didn't want to lift. But I still went into the gym, still do it, and still follow the program. It was a tough few months that I did when I was training for my first comp. And then eventually I got better. I overcome that problem outside of the gym, and then I stopped listening to that bad emotion with my lifting as well. And we can't mix our everyday life into our gymming progression, because we do so if we use that emotion to bring down how our training is, then it's not gonna go down in a good route. So yeah, so my first year of powerlifting, getting ready for comp, was very emotional because of outside factors that affected my training progress. And yeah, so prepping for comp, I think it was a few months, and then COVID came in. I was prepping, I was getting good, and then COVID came in, and then I was prepping again, and then got better, start getting stronger as well, sitting at 69 kilos, got my squat at 180 and bench for 125, and dead I got 200. So my first comp, those was my numbers at 69 kilos. And I was still learning how to do it properly, and I also injured my wrists at that point where I have to wear wrist wrap for my deadlift, because my grip was so weak at that point as well when I was doing deadlift, because I grabbed something wrong in the wrong angle while lifting it up. And don't hurt your wrist, people. Don't hurt your wrists. You will need your wrists. And yeah, so powerlifting for me was great at that point in my life. And after the comp, getting those numbers, I was just like, so what now? I was just like, the stimulation from powerlifting wasn't there no more after the first comp. I remember like it was just like, okay, what's next? Like, I got strong now, so what is the next goal? There was really no specific goal. I just went back to like bodybuilding and power building, still keeping the strength, but also like adding in muscles. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was still getting trained by Aiden as well, still doing powerlifting. And after the third comp with him, I quit working with him. There has come to a point where you can learn so much from a coach, or the relationship there is not that good anymore, or you just feel like you need a break from getting coach, and that's okay. So I took a break from getting coach and just doing my own things with powerlifting or just training in general, and also did like a few more comps after that as well. Total of like 6 comps so far, and I felt like, yeah, I got strong, but I'll keep on having that like thoughts in my head, what's next? And then back and forward, just with powerlifting, and then doing something different, back and forward again. Keep getting stronger. I'm not sticking to it. And do I get bored with powerlifting? Yes, because it's the same repetitive exercise, squat, bench, and deadlift, and the accessories that help you get stronger in those 3 lifts. But it's just how you feel like when you do it. Like there's no right or wrong with the sport, as long as you utilize the information from the sport to help you get better with your fitness journey. Because knowledge is power, but it's only power if you apply it. So if you apply like powerlifting like background to any sort of like training, then you will get strong in this aspect of training as well. And that's my thought. That's I don't know if other people agree or not, but that's how I see it. And yeah, I don't know if I ever get back into powerlifting again. My last one was this year in Townsville, and I don't know if I want to get back into it. It's just, especially like hurting my back from it. I had a thought about it for like a long time too, so I've been doing that heavy anymore, you know. So I've been like hitting those numbers, high number, and then always getting injuries because not bracing or not getting enough rest. Also like other factors as well, like family, life, happiness, and work. And we still got to consider all that stuff with our training, because training is not always 100%, and comp day is not always 100% either. So we need to consider all those factors to when we are like prepping for a comp or just training. So yeah, powerlifting is a good sport, and I do recommend it to beginners to start off with powerlifting, so they can learn the basic or programming, getting a good coach, and learning technique as well, and the progression of getting stronger, and a good gym that support that sport as well. You will need a good gym to support that sport, so you can keep going on powerlifting. So to end this episode, I would like to thank all my previous coaches and online strength for getting me to this far with my lifting knowledge, education, progression of getting stronger, and enjoying the sport at those time, and even now I still enjoy it. And yeah, thanks for listening, and stay tuned for my next episode. Thank you.